Alright, we're going to give this another shot. We're working on QBasic today, guys. Not a programming tutorial, but you know how I like to poke at old DOS programs. So consider this Let's Play QBasic. QBasic was interesting for a few things when compared to modern programming. First of all, it was packaged in with DOS, right? So in the old days, you could just type from anywhere. You could just type QBasic, and you were in with the last several versions of MS-DOS. But you're looking at DOSBox right now. So if you want to use it in DOSBox, you got to go out and download it. It's still free. Let's see. I got a couple versions here. We're going to go with the oldie. And there's several ways to use it. You don't have to go back to all the way back to MS-DOS. As a matter of fact, there's a really nice Windows-based QBasic editor called QB64, which has some color coding in its tags and whatnot. But let's just take a look. All right, QBasic. Now this little piece of history was packaged. Yeah, welcome to MS-DOS QBasic. Now MS-DOS also had an editor in it that had it was just a text editor, right? If you were to type in MS-DOS, and I've talked about this in many a video. Come on, get out of here. If you were to just say type edit help.txt, MS-DOS would either open help.txt, or if that file didn't exist, it would create a new one called help.txt, and it would bring you here. And what you were seeing was QBasic with all the interpreter functionality stripped out of it. That's one thing that's interesting about QBasic. The other is that you could not actually create standalone EXEs, which is very strange. You could create anything, and you could download programs and whatnot, or excuse me, you could get programs off of your local bulletin board system, but you had to load them in QBasic and then run them from here. Alright, so we'll just quick demo. Print hello world, everybody's first program. Okay, there it is. See it down there at the bottom? Hello world. Now the first thing everyone does in QBasic is you print this, you clear the screen. See that? Now we have a nice clear screen that we can work with. That's one. Another thing that I don't see nearly as often as I should is a comment block at the top. All right, if you want to leave a comment in QBasic, the most common way to do it is with these little ticks. And then you can write description, date, and this stuff is important. You're not going to remember what you were doing before. QBasic demo for Tiger Claw TV. And what's the date today? It is 7/25/2018. All right. And we'll see that when we run it, the interpreter just ignores all those and everything's fine. There was another way to leave comments called REM, which stood for remark. And you can see if you put anything in there, it'll still be ignored. The REM functionality remains. But I think that was left over from early versions of QBasic, or perhaps from earlier programs called QuickBasic, I think was what predates QBasic. But we're gonna do a small program here, and we're gonna write a program that takes in a number between 1 and 100 from the user and displays it. So the fact that it is that we have a range between 1 and 100 means we're going to need to A, accept an input from the user, B, have some error handling, and C, display that input. So let's start with the easy stuff. First thing we're going to do is get rid of hello world. Okay. All right. And we'll replace that with input. Please enter a number between 1 and 100. And then we're going to delimit it with a semicolon. And then we'll call this variable user input. All right. This line will display this, and because it says input here, it will accept an input from the user and store it in this variable. So the very next line, quite simply, print you have entered user input. All right, so there's our program. Let's hand it off to QA. See how it goes. Please enter a number between 1 and 100. 4. Great. It displays the number, puts us back to our program. So we've succeeded in our positive testing. Now let's try some negative testing. All right. Enter a number between 1 and 100. We're going to go outside that range. We're going to go 101. Now this should fail, but it doesn't. There it is. So that's what we have to work on next, is we have to do some error handling. Now, the last time I tried to record this video, this is where I got screwed up. So there's a couple things I want to do. Basically, the way I want to tackle this problem is by using a for loop, or excuse me, a while loop. And I'm going to add an extra variable to, to create a loop control. Here's what I mean by that. All right. So declaring variables in QBasic. Dim, that's the declare a variable command. Why that's what it is? It's just what it is. We're going to call this loop control as integer. I believe that's the way it goes. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. Okay, great. And then we're going to set loop control equal to 0. Great. Okay. So, now let's go to our program. So, while loop control equals 0, do all these things. Do this and this. And how do I exit a loop? I looked this up. What is it? It is wend, which is very strange. But that's what it is. While end wend. So the problem is, if I run this as it is, it's an infinite loop. It'll ask the user will put, and then it'll then this, and then it'll run again and again and again. Okay. After the user has entered it, okay. Okay, wait a second. First things first. This line needs to come out. All right. All right, we're going to put this down here. Okay. Check to see if it's below 100. Okay, while loop equals 0, please enter. Okay. Okay. Check. Succeeded. I hope that's how you spell succeeded. I don't think it is. That's my guess. Check succeeded. Print results. All right. Print. You have entered. Ooh. You have entered user input. There we go. Now we need to get out of this loop. If user input is greater than 100, or excuse me, is less than 100, then we're going to set loop control equal to 1. And if. So, if it's over 100, This line here, loop control equals 1, this is what's going to break us out of the loop. Okay? Because as long as this is set to 0, it's going to keep asking over and over again. We'll say, if it's not, else. Print error. Number is too high. Okay. You know what? We're going to save this. Video.bas. Oh my goodness. Let's give it a shot. Alright. Positive testing. Enter number between 1 and 100. 4. There it is. You've entered 4. Oh, wait. Yeah. We'll run it again for negative testing. Enter number between 1 and 100. 101. The number is too high. Yes! 106. 107. All these numbers. Alright. Must be. Okay. So good. So you can see that the error checking works. Now, something I might do after running it like that is I might add on to what happens. Okay, first of all, we need to fix this. Within the loop, or the if statement, we need to indent one step further. Because without this indenting, listen, I don't care if it still runs. If you have not indented it like this, like within the while loops, you indent one, and then within the if, you indent another one, your program is incorrect. If you're in college, your professor is going to mark you down from this, and if you're working in the professional world, your boss is going to give you an earful for this. You got to do your inputting exactly, follow the convention of what's considered best practices of programming inputs, or indenting. It's super, super important. All right, check to see if it's below 100. So this is basically it. The only other thing I can think of is to this program as it is right now, it will still fail negative testing because my while loop only checks to see if it's too high. If I dip into the negative numbers, it's still going to succeed. So what I could do, all right, say we're to copy this. I could do another if statement here. If user input, less, let's see, no. If it's less than 0, then all this gets indented one more. No. Then end this if, and if. All right. Then we'll have to change our error message. Instead of being too high, please enter in the range of 1 through 100. Let's give that a try. Our program is now a little bit more complex. We've got error handling. We've got if it's too high or if it's too low. We're gonna give it a shot. I believe in this. Let's see what we got. Enter number between Jeez Louise, my apologies. Enter number between 1 and 100. Let's go right to the negative testing. -4. No! 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 Alright. Because it's greater than 0. Nah, this needed to be less than 0. Alright, this is the last time I'm going to try it. -3. Yeah, there we go. Or 101. Oh, that didn't work. The error handling is still kicking in if it's too high, but I'm not getting the message anymore. I see. I see. I gotta copy this outside of this one. Got it. Oh no, what did I do? Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright. We'll copy this outside. Yeah. After the... Hold on. Okay, if it's 100, then... Okay. It has to check both. So it's not getting the loop control in the outer loop, because the inner loop has to run and be successful. But if it fails out here, that's when it gets another one of these guys. And we'll try it now. Aha! -4. It does it twice. Okay, so clearly I'm going about this wrong. I need to figure out case statements. That's the issue. I know there's a way to do this properly. I don't know if I do this too high. Okay. And it doesn't display it all there. Entered 4. I gotta be using case statements. That's the problem. I also need to be clearing the screen when it enters the error. But this is QBasic. My goodness. I'm really exhausted. I enjoy it. I've enjoyed learning about it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.